Good day everyone, welcome to another Q&A series video here on the Aviation Pro channel, video number 4, a series where we kind of gain some aviation knowledge, one question at a time. And today I'm coming to you from beautiful sunny LA, very nice weather, very sunny, very warm, and having a good time here on this little one-day layover. Today's question comes from Alexandre Kairos. Thank you, Alexandre, for supplying your question. A special wing wave to you. And Alexandre's question is, I am aiming to become a pilot in the future, but of course I'm saving up money for flight school here in Greece. My question is, what do you advise someone that doesn't have the money for flight school up front to do in order to make their dreams come true? A very good question, Alexandra. Of course, the big downside of flight training and flying in general is that it's expensive. And there are quite a lot of things you have to think about here. Now, I am personally not in a position to give you any specific financial advice, of course, but I can give you a bit of an idea of the things you have to think about when you're considering applying for a flight school and going into flight training. Now, ideally, you of course want to join a flight school which already has some sort of financial arrangement up front. Flight schools that are associated with an airline specifically, or that have some sort of cadet program, they usually already have some financial arrangement in the form of a loan with a particular bank that you would later pay off, or maybe a reduction of your salary later on when you join the airline, maybe even a job guarantee, or maybe even some airlines actually will pay for your flight training if they really need you. But that's probably the best option that you want to go for. But of course, that's not always feasible for everyone, and you might not have that flight school in your area. And in that case, you need to look for other options to finance your flight training. So it's very good that you're already saving up money for your flight training. I think that's a very good start. And if you're going to some other flight school where you have to pay for the flight training yourself, I would say be very careful. Just make sure that you really get the financial side of things secured beforehand by either working beforehand or studying something first and then working and then going into flight training. Or maybe, getting some loans here and there from family or friends. But you want to, of course, make sure that you have it written down on paper properly, and of course, try to find ways to get to a flight school which gives you the best job guarantee. That's really important, because if you're not able to get a job as an airline pilot later on, or if it's very difficult, then it's very hard to get that money back, of course. So you want to make sure that you really have those things sorted out beforehand, okay? So my advice would really be try to look for the good flight schools first that have those financial arrangements already, some sort of guarantee behind it as well, in the form of either, some airlines you might have a job guarantee so that they will hire you immediately, or some flight schools may have some sort of funds that will pay for your flight training if you don't get a job with an airline within a couple of years. Those are the best options, okay? And another big tip or piece of advice I would want to give is that you want to really focus on the flight training while you're in flight training. You don't want to be worrying about the financial side of things while you're in flight training. You really want to focus on the flying and all the theory, because it's quite an intensive program, a program of 2 to 3 years usually, and a lot of things happen in a short amount of time, and the last thing then that you want is to worry about the financial things. So it's good that you're already saving up, and if you maybe study something else first, which is always helpful. It's always very useful to gain some life experience, and will also shape you as a pilot, I think. If you can, then earn some money with a bit of a better job later on, so you have that financial backup yourself that already, removes a lot of the stress from the financial side of things, okay? Another thing you have to think about is that, it's not just the cost of the flight training itself. You also have to think about the costs when you are in flight training, and things like the cost of living. Maybe you live near the flight school, at the airport, but maybe it has some sort of campus where you have to stay. But you also need money for that. You need money for the rent, for your food and drinks, and Also think about, visiting family in the weekends, or if you want to go home in the weekends, or maybe you need a car. There are some things like maybe you have some excursions every now and then. Maybe you need to buy some things like a knee pad and some pens and papers, or sunglasses. There's quite a few things that add up over time while you're in flight training. So it's really important to take into account those costs as well. If you join a flight school which already has the financial arrangement, then you can put that aside, but you will still have the cost of living and getting to and from the flight training and things like that. So take that into account as you make your calculations for your flight training, okay? So yeah, that's kind of the overall picture I want to give you. I cannot give you a solid financial advice, but hopefully you have a bit of an idea now of the things you need to look for. And in the end, yes, it's a lot of money. It's you're going to be paying off your loan or whatever for a few years when you're flying. But the final piece of advice I want to give you is that it's very much worth it. It is a bit of a risk. Personally, I joined a flight school which had that financial arrangement, so I was quite confident that would be okay. As soon as you join the airline, you're going to be paying off the loan that you have, and you're flying now. It's a really cool job, and you get to see some magnificent places. And flight training comes with a lot of effort, not just the financial effort, but also the effort you have to put in yourself. There are going to be moments where you are going to be, wondering why you ever made this choice, or times where it goes really slowly, or maybe things like COVID happened during my flight training. At some point, we were all wondering whether we would even become pilots at all. So, there can be setbacks in flight training, but in the end, it's very much worth it. It's great, and maybe with that, try to keep that in mind as you make your financial arrangement, as you save up your money, as you work for some more years to save up money. Just have that goal in mind. Set that goal on the horizon for yourself, so that when you get into the position to just be able to pay for your flight training, that you are going for it, and with the best motivation that you have. Okay. So that's the advices I want to give you. Hope that helps a little bit. If you have any questions that you want to have answered in this Q&A series here on the Aviation Pro channel, make sure you leave your question in the question box below. In the description, there's a link to the question box. And maybe your question will be turned into a video next time. All right? So thanks for watching this video here on the Aviation Pro channel. I will see you next time. And I will say cheers for now from beautiful Los Angeles. See ya.